This particular case is based on an actual mediation, but names and details have been changed to protect the individual's privacy. At the end of the table, you'll see our Safe Horizons certified mediator, Alan. On the left side of the mediator sits Amy, the complaining witness. You might also hear her called the initiating party by the mediator. On the right side sits the defendant, also sometimes called the offender or respondent, 19-year-old Samantha, and her mother Pam. Amy has lived next door to Samantha and Pam for 20 years.
Again, thanks so much, Amy, Pam, Samantha. You know, we've all talked privately for the last couple of weeks, and we know a lot about what's going on here, but this is our first opportunity to really brainstorm and get together and talk in person. And hopefully we'll be able to reach some agreements, some understandings of each other. I know we talked a little about mediation in our private sessions, and mediation, as you know, is very informal, but there are some rules. The main rule is to be respectful of each other, and the main way to operationalize that is that when one person is talking, like when Amy is talking, Pam and Samantha, you'll be listening, and when you folks talk, Amy, you'll be listening. And I've given you some pads and paper here, so if you really want to interrupt, instead, please just write down what you've got to say, and I'll give you plenty of time to talk with each other. You'll have an opportunity to be heard. I'll be taking some notes, but I will throw away my notes when we're done, because everything you say here is confidential, so that nothing's going to leave this room. I'm not going to be called to testify when you go to court or anything else like that, so that you can feel free to say anything, except if an allegation of child abuse or some credible threat is on the table. Unlikely to happen, but if it does, then I'm required to report it. It's important for you to realize, as I think you do, that you don't lose any rights by being here. It's very positive you're here, because this is an opportunity for you to be able to maybe better understand each other about what happened, and if you wish to, voluntarily, to reach some agreements. If you reach an agreement, either an understanding or an agreement that we're going to put in writing for the court, then the DA and your defense attorney, who's been assigned to you, will review the agreement that you make, and the judge will consider it, and the judge often will go along with what you agreed to, as long as it fits legal guidelines and so forth. So it's only one possibility. Maybe you won't agree on anything, maybe you will. One thing about mediation is that it's all about you. It's self-determined, that you are going to decide if you want to agree or not agree. I'm not a judge. I'm not going to make any decisions, probably won't even make any suggestions. So mediation is about you bringing what you feel like to the table and seeing if you can understand the other party and maybe getting together on something. I will try to facilitate your discussion, your dialogue, see if we can find some common ground, something that you mutually agree upon. And if you do agree on something, then we'll bring that to the court and see if the court will so order that and make it into an official kind of agreement between you. We're going to spend a very short time reviewing the past, because all of you know what happened. You've discussed it with me. And then the main thing we'll try to do is see what will work for you in the future. What would you like to do now? We'll do some brainstorming, we'll do some talking, we'll do some understanding, and see where we can go with that. So that's basically what mediation is about. Do you have any questions before we start in?
No.
Amy, you? Yeah, Samantha.
There's nothing new really to say. I'm just our relationship here goes back 20 years. I've known Pam for 2 decades now, and I've known Samantha since the day she was born. I'm here just because I'm really upset, angry, and disappointed at our situation, which I've already spoken to you about. A few years ago, Sam was going through a rough time, and since Pam is a very close friend of mine, I decided that why not give Samantha something to do, something to occupy her, and I decided that she can babysit for me. I have two boys. They're not little anymore. They were 7 and 4, and she was babysitting for me. They loved her, and she was doing a great job. Then about 4 years ago, I was going through a very rough time in my own life. My husband was very sick, and he's unfortunately passed away since then. But I noticed something during that period when I was taking care of my sick husband, that there was some money being taken out of my account, but I couldn't pay too much attention to it. I discussed it with Pam, and I just reported it to the police, and we didn't find anything, but I didn't give it any more thought. I should have. Then about a few weeks ago, I think 8 weeks ago, there was another, there was some more money taken out, the same amount. and the detective came to me and said that they found the IP address and it was Pam's house. And I went to Pam. I have that kind of comfort level with her and discussed it with her, and we investigated a little more. And unfortunately for us, we discovered it was Samantha who was using my checking account to get money for porn, for a porn site. And this is extremely disappointing. And Sam, I hope you know what you've done. It's $5,000 for which I worked very hard, and it goes much deeper than that for me as well. You erased some memories for me which I can never get back, and I took you in. I helped you in a way people couldn't help you at the time, and this is how you repaid me. And I'm extremely angry, upset, and disappointed with you and this whole situation. The account that she happened to use was a joint account that Jim and I had, and now, because obviously I had to close the account, and that it's a small thing, but it's very big for me. I hope you understand, both of you understand what it means to me. I had to close the account, and I no longer have that joint account which had my husband's name on it.
Jim was your husband. All right, so that it's not only that you felt terrible about losing money, but you lost the trust and you feel very disappointed and angry.
Yes.
Let's see what your reaction is. That maybe Pam, do you have some response?
Well, I mean, we have been friends. You've been very helpful to both of us, and we've felt terrible what happened to Jim. But this is my daughter, and she is facing a grand larceny charge. And from what you said to me on the phone over the last few weeks, you think it's good she's facing it. And I have to say, as a mother, you know that Sam has pulled her life together. She's going to school. She's going to go to FIT. She is on the right track. She's gotten rid of the old boyfriend. I just have to say, yes, there is friendship. And there are many good things that have gone on, living next door to each other and the boys. But this is serious. Your husband's gone, my husband's gone. We're alone here as mothers. And Sam is doing a very good job of living her life. And I don't want you telling me she should face a grand larceny charge.
So Pam, what you're saying is, yes, there indeed was a good friendship and still is some residual feelings of friendship between you and Amy. And you do feel terrible about her losing her husband, Jim. But what you're really upset about now is that your daughter, Samantha, has pulled her life together. She's on the right track. She's about to go to FIT to school there. And that you really resent that she's facing this grand larceny charge, and that I think you said Amy had told you that she was sort of glad that she's facing up this kind of possible prison term even, and that because of the good start, or the new start that Samantha has, that you're pretty resentful that she's facing this difficulty, even though you understand how Amy feels about this as well. Is that more or less what you're saying, how resentful you are?
Well, I really don't, about the money and everything. We can talk about that. It's what she talks about Sam, that it's good for her to face
How about how
this
I
charge.
feel? You think I'm happy putting her through this? You think I'm happy putting any of us through this?
So it sounds like both of you are very upset. Of course, you're upset about the loss of trust, the loss of money. You're upset about your daughter facing this prison term. And
I don't like the way she seems to
Yeah.
imply that this is a very enjoyable situation for me.
So you're saying it's not enjoyable for you to
I've
express
lost $5,000, I've lost a very important memory, and I'm at the brink of losing a very good friendship. You think any of this is fun for me?
All right, so let's find out what Samantha thinks. But in the meantime, that Amy, you're pretty angry and pretty upset about all the things that have happened to you. And Pam, you're also upset that your daughter is facing prison term just when her life is turning around and
Oh, I
starting.
hate to hear those words.
Samantha, do you want to react to what your mom and what Amy have said?
I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but Amy, I am very sorry for what happened. That all this money was gone from your life. I didn't know all these other things that went along with that, and I'm just very sorry. And I've thought a lot about what I can do make this right somehow, and I really want to do that. I just don't know how yet. And
How are you going to make this right, Sam?
well, okay, I'm working through school, and I'm living on my own now, and so I want to pay this back to you.
You're going to pay back $5,000?
If you'll give me that chance, that's what I want to do.
Why should I?
I think we should I know we said we wouldn't talk too much about this, but I think it's important. You know that Sam was going with a guy who's really the one who went on the site and he really took your money. But I know it's Sam who gave your checking number.
I don't care beyond that. Why will I be even interested?
She broke up with him.
She stole the checking account number. He may be gone, he may be here, I don't care.
I just want to set the...
She took the checking account number.
I just want to set the record straight, because it's not all Sam. Yes, there's a lot to talk about, but it's not just her alone. That's all I want to say.
So,
I just want to get that on.
So, Pam, you're acknowledging that Sam has responsibility for taking the checking out number, but you're saying there was this other guy, I think his name was Joey or something?
Yeah,
but
Joey.
he's long gone, right?
Mom,
What a jerk.
thank you for
So
bringing
the
that up,
jerk is
but I
fine.
don't want to. I don't want to make any excuses. I need to take responsibility for this, and that's why I'm here today. I just want to do whatever I can.
You're here
To
today
repay
because you're
this
going to
so
go
that-
to jail if you don't come here.
Why do you talk like this? You're so stern. We've known each other all this time. Why are you talking like this?
Why are you talking like this? I mean, what's wrong with you? Do you even get what she did?
We're talking about how to pay it back, and you tell her she's wrong. Give us a break. We're here.
All you're talking about is telling her it's not her fault.
You are saying that Samantha is indeed responsible for this, and you just want to point out another fact that there was a man named Joey, which you've gotten rid of him, right? He's completely out of the picture.
Look, I was really messed up for a long time. I was friends with some people who did a lot of wrong things. We had a lot of bad habits, and this started out as such a small thing in the beginning. I know it's not a small thing anymore, but it really was, and I had no idea it would go this far. I had no idea that it would come to $5,000 and you and me sitting at a table and you two, me coming between you two in this way. I had no idea that it would come to this, and but I want to take responsibility for this and make it right. And so I want to know how I can do that. I've got a plan, Amy, but I don't know if it's going to be okay with you. What I can do to make this right.
So, Samantha, you're taking responsibility for what happened. It started out small and sort of grew and surprised you, and that you were hanging out with some bad folks, I guess, with bad habits in the past, and now that you've got your life moving in the right direction, going to school, and you're away from Joey, you broke up with him, you're hoping to make it right.
Yeah.
And you're on board with that.
I'd like to help her make it right, and I want this to just go away. Just go away.
And you, I mean, you're understandably very angry about what happened to you. The money was gone, the trust was gone, and on the other hand, you're listening to what Samantha's saying about taking responsibility and trying to work things out. So we sort of know now, I guess we know tremendously what happened in the past. What do you folks think could happen now to make things better? Not just for your relationship, but for money, for the whole situation. Is there anything that can be done now in the future? Because that's all we've got is the present and the future to come to some common agreement, some common ground. What could happen now?